Flash your time with TripleG. Brace yourself for the things you'll see, from comic books to toys and more, and all cartoons that we adore. Pop culture, flicks and geeky stuff, we love it all and can't get enough. So settle in and enjoy the show. Please hit like and subscribe before you go.
How's it hanging, YouTube? Peter here, your ginger Geordie Geek. Welcome back to the channel for my one-man live show. If you've not seen the show before, this is where we take a look at some of my recent pickups, whether they be toys or comics. We'll talk a little bit about the first issues that have been out this last week, so the issue number ones. And we talk a little bit about some action figures that I've got in my collection, some bits and bobs like that. And I show you off some old books that I want to talk about briefly. So thank you very much for joining me. Before we crack on, let's see who we've got in the chat. We've got Chris Bell. Evening. Nice to see you, pal. Hope you're well. We've got Ash. Always good to see you, Ash. Evening all. Hope everyone is well. Fuzzy of the Dunlop. Salutations, Brother Bell. Wagwan. Nice to see you, Fuzzy. Nice to see you. Fuzzy, you're absolutely right. I've dropped you a message. I read the last issue of Sleep. Not a freaking clue. Not a clue. Didn't know what's going on. I'd completely forgotten there was a murder mystery thing going on here. I thought it was all just about the monster attacking the town. So I will have to go back and reread all 8 issues in one go. I think I'm probably as likely, Fuzzy, to buy it and trade paperback and give it a go and trade paperback and just see what it's like. But yeah, we'll see. But how dare you? Is that not what they're called? Pruners. Pruners for your model kits and stuff like that. How dare you, Wayne? Anyway, nice to see you, Wayne. Hope you're well, pal. Hope you're well. Ash, Fuzzy, we're also a fair point, Wayne. Pruner. What do you call them then? Tweezer? What are the tweezers? I think pruners sounds. I don't know. It's Wayne. Awooga. Let's ride. Okay, let's ride, cowboys. Hi, Fuzzy and Belly. Mount up. We've got Terry. Good evening, everyone. Terry has just put a cracking video out. He's recently hit 500 subscribers and he's just doing a giveaway. So check that out. Yeah, it was an interesting giveaway. You had to have good eyesight to keep an eye on what was happening behind him and try and spot. I think it was 6 changes in his background. I didn't manage it myself, but well done to the winner who was, I think, well, not spoiled. Go watch the video. Go watch the video. We've got MJ Comics in the chat. Nice to see you, MJ. Hope you're doing well, pal. And we've got Luke. Nice to see you, Luke. Luke's recently been down to a shop not too far from me that I've done a few videos on called the Doll Night. Incredible shop, Luke. Let me know what you picked up, pal. I always plan a couple of hours when I'm down there because it's a proper old school comic shop with just rows and rows and rows of proper back issues. So I love the place, and the owners are absolutely first class. I tend to bump into them when I'm at Thought Bubble Convention as well. They always say hello. So yeah, great place to visit. Great place to visit. Proper mince end. Yeah, it totally threw us, Fuzzy. I don't know what I was expecting going into it, but I had genuinely, and I don't know if that's just because of the time between issues, I'd genuinely forgotten that there was like a murder mystery at the start of the book and stuff. Do you know what I mean? I was just reading it and focusing each issue on what's going on with this bloke who turns into some kind of monster. I'd totally kind of forgotten about the fact that somebody had been killed, and I don't know. Yeah, I need to go back and look at it. Secateurs. Maybe. They weren't secateurs. They were just plain old boring wire cutters. How dare you, sir? How dare you? I have them on hand. These are special little pruners. And if you have a look, I'm sure they're called pruners. They've got the Warhammer symbol on them because these are for Warhammer 40k models, taking them off the sprunes. See, I think I'm right. I think these are called pruners. I don't know. Maybe some talking shade. I don't know. Anyway, cheers, Peter. It was easy in the original video. Bomb disposal snips. Yeah, maybe. Garden shears. Wayne, Peter's nose hair trimmers. Now, Wayne, anybody that watches my videos knows that that's not true because the amount of foliage coming out of my nostrils on some of those close-up shots I do turns my stomach. Never mind people sat at home watching. So yeah, Anyway, thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gents. We've got some interesting books to talk about tonight. There's been some canny issue number ones. We're going to chat about them. But before we do that, we're going to start the show off with a bit of show off. So showing some stuff that I have picked up recently. Please, I'd love some interaction. So in the chat, let us know what you're proud of picking up over the last few weeks. Have you bought anything that's of particular significance to you, or any books that you've really enjoyed that you just want to talk about? But for me, I'm going to start off with showing you something that I've not done a video on yet, but I am going to do a video on. But I showed it off last night on my my appearance on Rob Fatstack's Only Slabs, which was great fun, by the way. Please go check it out. Now, I've not bought any of this stuff before, and I'm hesitant to show it off because I think it'll be like the bat signal for good old Luke from Hydra Collectibles. But I've fallen into the old physical media trap. So everybody that watches the channel will know of my love of Batman 89, the Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson masterpiece directed by Tim Burton. Love that movie. I've got a beautiful signed Michael Keaton copy of Batman from the movie adaptation. And I spotted this on good old eBay. And this is the VHS, American version of the VHS video, still in its cellophane with that iconic bat logo on it. And you know what? I just thought I had to have it. I had to have it. So I picked this up. This is my first ever graded videotape. This is a CGC physical media 9.6 sealed copy. Haven't got a clue about the grading. Haven't got a clue what it means, but I just felt like it was something I had to have. Look at the back of that, man. Look at Jack. Love a bit of Jack. So yeah, got this one and thought, yeah, I had to have this. So yeah, I don't know that I'll buy any more. I'm saying that as soon as I bought this, I did look for Superman, the original motion picture with Christopher Reeve. That goes for obscene amounts of money. And then I did have a little look-see for Star Trek. So it's not really an avenue I want to take my collection down, but if it means something to us, if it's big and personal, then yeah, we'll get it. So I got this, and then I also picked up this because I felt I was going down a bit of a rabbit hole with graded stuff. I picked up this. So this is the original Batman 89 action figure. I remember buying this off the shelf in Toys R Us back in the day. I just love it. I mean, it's supposed to be in relation to the Batman movie. It's variable. But this is graded. You can see it on the bottom there. It's got an 80% grade, and that's because the card, I understand, is got some damage to it, and you can see the edges are a bit worn and things like that. Again, I don't really understand the grading on this, but this is a ukgraders.com Batman Bat Rope from 1989 from Toy Biz. Card 80%, B 85%, F 85%. Not a freaking clue what they mean. Not a clue. But yeah, it's a beaut, an absolute beaut. So yeah. Again, I'm not one for graded toys. I tend to be an open box collector, to be honest. But this fits in with my Batman 89 collection. So I'm thinking of setting one of my cabinets up with a little bit of a shrine to Batman 89 and getting all of this kind of stuff popped in there. Whilst I was on, again, another book I haven't shared yet on the channel, but I picked this up. And I don't know why, but this is Superman 75. I bought the Absolute Edition recently and I just loved it. And I thought, you know what, I am got a graded copy in my collection. This is the standard version, not the polybag version and all the rest of it. But I felt like I wanted this. I think that's an iconic cover. Don't know what you guys think, but I think that's an absolute iconic cover. Just love it. Just love it. Now, the next thing I absolutely adore. Now, you know I've been on a bit of a jaunt over the last week or so. I went down south to Milton Keynes to go to a comic convention there. Whilst I was at Milton Keynes visiting the National Sci-Fi and Movie Museum, which is superb, by the way. People should go check that out. As I was walking through their version of like the Metro Center, like a shopping center, that had some stalls set out some kind of marketplace stalls, and I had a little bit of a browse, and it was your usual tat. But there was one guy selling hand painted, hand carved bits of stuff. Really, that's a crap description, but it doesn't fit in with any of my videos, so I thought I'd show it off here because something caught my eye straight away. Don't laugh. And it's this. Look at this. So this is, like I say, he's designed these himself. I will put his card up. I'll probably put this into my Milton Keynes video as well. But I just spotted this and I fell in love with it. Now, he had loads of different ones. He had Transformer ones and all kinds of other stuff. I kind of wish now I'd bought more. Because, well, you're going to, I mean, I get aroused when I look at this. So wait for it. So it's one of those Russian doll things. So you pop Skeletor's heat off. Look at that. And inside, you've got good old He-Man. Again, hand painted. Just absolutely cracking. Like I say, loads of different versions. You had Power Rangers ones. You had Transformers ones. I really like the Transformers ones. Again, you pop He-Man's heat off. And then inside, you've got, of course, Man-at-Arms, which is just stunning. Love the little Man-at-Arms. Let's put them out of the way. So again, the detail on these, like I say, all hand painted, which I think is what appealed to us more than anything. And then again, you pop that, and you've got Battle Cat inside. Look at the little Battle Cat. Now, mentioned Luke earlier. Luke would absolutely love that because he's a big Battle Cat collector. So yeah, look at the little Battle Cat. And then the last one. Who do you think? Who do you think for the last one, ladies and gents? Who fits inside a Battle Cat? Well, I'll tell you. It's a tiny little Orko. I just think this is class. Absolutely class. Absolutely class. Like I say, I wish I'd bought the Transformers one now. So you get Orko, you get Battle Cat. Really well done. Beautifully painted. I have got the guy's card, so I'm probably going to hit him up. And he also said, by the way, because he does original artwork as well, some beautiful paintings. He also said, get in touch because he'll do custom ones. So if there's a property that you particularly want, he'll do a custom version for you, which is incredible. So I'm trying to think now of what I might want him to do. But yeah, I just think these are phenomenal. The Skeletor, the sculpt on that is just phenomenal. Yeah. So silly little things like that I love. Do you know what I mean? I saw that and I couldn't resist it. And I think I paid around about, I'm guessing now, I think I paid around about £20 for it or something like that, which I think is great value. Absolutely great value. So yeah, that's what I've been picking up. Let us know what you guys have been picking up in the chat. Let's see what people are saying. Bum disposal snips. Peter's nose hair trimmers. Oh my god, that's awesome. Yep, love it, pal. The video you're talking about, love it. Still the best movie Batman. Absolutely fuzzy. It just looks amazing. It's just stuck with me, you know, since I saw it originally when I was 12 years old at the cinema. Loved it. So you're selling the slabs you don't like and then buy that. Yeah, Terry. Yeah, I am, mate. I am. Do you know what? I'm at the stage now where I'm selling stuff that doesn't necessarily mean much to us, and I'm buying stuff that I absolutely love. And I'll probably sell that in a few months' time as well. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And what I'm doing at the moment, I was talking to James Mack earlier. I mentioned it to you guys before, but I can't express I can't express enough how much I thoroughly enjoyed just getting in the car last weekend and just tootling off and visiting some toy shops and visiting some comic shops, staying in a cheapy hotel so it wasn't costing us the end of the world kind of thing, and then popping to a Comic-Con and all the rest of it. I absolutely loved that. So I'm going to probably do more of that. I'm going to sell some of my slabs to fund those kind of road trips. And I'll buy whatever the hell I want when I'm there, like this kind of stuff. And then I might sell that in a few months' time to fund another trip. So at the moment, I'm looking at lots of different places to visit. I'd love to do a toy comic tour up in Scotland. So I've got that planned. I've got a couple of comic shops and toy shops planned to visit in May when I've got Andy coming over and we're going to visit Chris Bell. And yeah, so that's May, I think it is. And like I said, I've been talking to James Mack today about doing something down in Birmingham, having a look around there. I want to reignite this idea of a video I had a little while ago, which was the Geek Guide. So I want to start plotting all that on the map, and Andy's going to help us with that, bless him. So yeah, keen to start doing more of that, more adventures than necessarily just buying slabs and things like that don't mean anything to us. Chris, Warhammer call them fine detail cutters because they don't want to admit they're wire cutters. You're absolutely right. Now you've said that, you're absolutely right. As long as you like it and you can grade it, it's up to the person and not others to like, as long as you like it. Absolutely, Wayne. And that's, I think, that started off being my mentality, that I buy and read what I like. But at some point, I did drift into the whole spec market and things like that. And I'm going to talk to you about spec at the end of the show. But yeah, I think just get what you enjoy. Get what you enjoy. Love it. The He-Man. Yeah, it's class, Fuzzy. Absolutely class. And the fact, like I say, that he does custom ones of these, you know, pick a franchise or whatever, and he'll make it for you, I think is amazing. He was a lovely guy as well. Lovely, lovely guy. Genius. Don't laugh at it. Love his backside. Of course you do, Wayne. You dirty, dirty boy. Man at Arms looks like a mini Chris Bell. He does, you're right. He does. That's someone who loves what he does. Absolutely, Fuzzy. And when you were talking to him, you got that straight through. You know, he was absolutely gushing about the work he does. I asked to have a look at them, and he was excited when he was showing us them, if that makes sense. He was like, you could tell he loved what he did. So yeah, you're absolutely right. You guessed right. Orko, pal. Orko. Excellent skill. Yeah, I wish I was talented like that. I'm going to commission a panel breaker set. You imagine. Of course, we'll be ending on a teeny weeny Keegan. Gee gods, could you imagine, Chris? Could you imagine? Yeah, that would be good fun, actually. That would be good fun. I didn't. So when you texted us this morning, James, I went from our Sunday morning. That's why Sunday morning I always go out with my mother to catch up, see how she's doing, and we'll go to Greg's for a bacon sandwich. And you texted us when I was in Greg's, showing us the B&M have got some more of those McFarlane statues in. There was a beautiful one of Storm, but the one next to our place didn't have it, unfortunately. But I'll do what I did the last time, and I shall tour a few of the different B&Ms and see which ones I can pick up. Andy, just been talking about you, pal. Hope everyone is well. Thank you very much for jumping on. I was just saying, Andy, wanting to get more into the experiences of visiting places and going to cons and toy hunts and updating the map, which I know you've been working on for us, pal. And looking forward to catching up with you and Chris in a month or two's time and going on some adventures, which would be very, very cool. £20 for something like that must take hours. Incredible. Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it, Terry. Andy, if you missed this, pal, got this when I was out on my adventures. It's Russian doll set of Masters of the Universe. You know, you get He-Man, you get Chris, you get Battle Cat, and you get a lovely little Orko at the bottom there. I just love it. I just think it's amazing. Amazing. So yeah, very, very cool. Road Trip needs a theme song. Yeah, we could do that, Andrew. We could do that. I could pull out some kind of tune for that. Anyway, chaps, let's crack on. Let's talk a little bit about this week's comic books. If you haven't seen the show for a little while, what I've done is I've changed things around a little bit. What I try and do now is pick up and read any new issue ones that have come out. Not all of them, but as many as I can get me poxy little hands on, and give you a bit of a quick review of those. Some I like, some I shade, but we'll crack on. Now, we'll start with this. There was a lot of noise about this. This is Tigress Island. Lots of people saying this is going to be the next big thing. Well, it's dog. It's shit. I hated it. Hated it. I was angry when I was reading it. This is how do I describe it? First off, let's start with the artwork. Really didn't like the artwork. It's just not my style of artwork. I don't like why every character's got these weird kind of just white eyes. That threw us. Yeah, the basic story is this group of women, I think there's about 6 of them or something like that, meet at a restaurant. They're all being brought there by some guy for a conversation about a job that they're going to go on. And you're introduced to each of these female characters. They've all got very dubious backgrounds. It's heavily implied that they are prostitutes of some kind. And I hated every single one of them. I don't think there was any one of them which I kind of warmed to and thought, oh yeah, you're a canny character. Basically, they then get drugged and they get shipped to this tigress island, which we don't really understand what it's about yet. But basically, it's an island full of similar women, led by a big kind of mastermind. Epstein Island kind of thing, I think, going on. I don't know. I just don't know. It wasn't what I expected. I don't know what I expected going in. I thought it was having like a kind of a Hunger Games kind of thing. And maybe that's what it's going to progress to. But I just didn't like it at all. I didn't like the art. I didn't like the writing. Didn't like the characters. Yeah, not for me. Now, that's just my opinion. Some of you people, or some guys might enjoy it. I'm laughing because I've just seen Luke's comments. Some of you guys might enjoy it. I think my problem sometimes is there's some stonking comics out at the moment, and I feel aggrieved reading this kind of stuff, thinking actually I should be reading another issue of Escape, or I should be reading another Beneath the Trees or something like that. This just, yeah, didn't out for us. Didn't out for us. Anyway, there we go. Any of you guys read it? Let's have a little look-see. Andy's just saying, yes, sir, looking forward to it. If the hobby can pay for itself and make memories, you're winning. Absolutely, Andy. You've said that for a long time, pal. That's why you're called the Oracle. You've said that for a long time, and I'm getting there now. I'm with you on that. I'd be happy to sell the entire collection if it meant I could spend a couple of years just touring around and going places and meeting people. Mince, I completely agree, Fuzzy. Mega mince. The art is offensive. Yeah, I really didn't like the artwork at all. It's a book about trafficking women. Glorious. Yeah, it's very strange. Not many teeth, strange drawings. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Trafficking an island sounds familiar. Yeah, more Babs than Greg's. That's what made us chuckle, Luke. Yeah. Was there a chap who thought he was the best there is? Late to the show. Hope you're good, pal. Nice to see you, pal. I hope you're doing well. We're just reviewing a few books. Yeah, avoid this one. Not my cup of tea. Now, then I read this. This is Kato 84 by Dark Horse. I've got a good pal of mine, James, Comic Deal, who keeps trying to sell me on the Samurai Bunny. I'd read one of these books. I think Andy remind us, was it on the Killer Comic Show? Did we read the one where he was in space or something? And it was crap. Didn't out for us. But I saw that this was painted artwork. It looked interesting. So I thought I would give this one a go. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought this was a cracking little book. I think the artwork really, really helped. I thought the painted style was stonking. The story is basically, it's not, I get the name wrong, Usagi Yojimbo. It's a descendant of his, who's basically a kind of a thief. But he's got a young lad who he kind of mentors and looks after. And basically he's given the opportunity of, if you do this big job for it, it'll set you up for life and you can give your young mentor the life he deserves. So he says, yeah, we'll I'll do it. I really enjoyed it. I thought the artwork was beautiful. I thought the banter in it was really good. I thought the story flowed quite nicely. I'll definitely be reading on with this one. And I never really thought I'd say that about a Samurai Rabbit kind of book. It's not my kind of thing. But yeah, good fun, this one. Good fun. Let us know in the chat if you've read this one. I particularly enjoyed it. Oh, Marvel. And then we've got Imperial Guardians. So this is on the back of the recent cosmic event book, where basically they've reestablished the galactic kind of empire, and Star-Lord is in charge of that. And yeah, this is set up as a team of rogue operatives who are dispatched by the kind of the ruling class to do black book work, basically taking out enemies and things like that. It's got an interesting mix of characters. We've got Captain Marvel, Gamora, Ghost Rider from the future, Amadeus Cho, and Darkhawk. I wanted to love this. I really, really wanted to love this. and I just didn't enjoy it at all, I'm afraid to say. It was, in Fuzzy's words, mince. The thing that irritated us most was, I'm a big fan of the Darkhawk character, and I think they did him a real disservice in this. He's treated like a kind of an absolute failure. Well, we got past that when he became kind of one of the Raptors and things like that. But anyway, Amadeus Cho, who's the Hulk, has got like Hulk armor all the way through this, which changes colors randomly. Don't know what that's all about. Yeah, fell flat for me. I won't be reading on. Not a one I particularly enjoyed. But again, this is just my opinion. You guys might really, really like it. Carol Danvers is quite strong in it. She was quite good. But yeah, other than that, not one for me. We've then got this, The Exorcism at Buckingham Palace. This is a sequel by the same team that did the one about the White House. Basic premise is the line of succession in the royal family disappears at sea. You don't really know why or how. The king is going to abdicate. You find out later on in the book, and it's because he's got terminal cancer. He hasn't got very long to live. So the next chap in the line of succession is a guy who's previously been an alcoholic. He gets brought into Buckingham Palace and starts going through kind of the steps of becoming the future king. He then starts drinking again, and then there's this very strange imagery of him being possessed by some kind of spirit, something that's followed his family for a long, long time. It was interesting. I can't say it blew us away, but I will be reading on. I did quite like the art style of it. I liked the imagery of the spirit, this kind of black weaving thing, which is all through the palace and things like that. But yeah, it wasn't bad. Again, let us know in the chat if you've read this one. I will read on. We then got this. This is A Quiet Place, Storm Warnings. So this is based obviously on the movie franchise. I loved this. This was good fun. Again, a book that I really, really liked, and I will definitely be reading on. It's basically the story of this little island called Pearl, which is connected to the mainland of the USA by a number of bridges. And you get the start of the story where the population of Pearl is minute. I think it's only like 600 people or something like that. And the mayor is the sister of the fire chief. And they've got like one fire chief and one police officer. It's that small of a town. The fire chief is listening via radio to all the stuff that's happening in the mainstream USA, and knows that the creatures from the Quiet Place have landed and are attracted to the sound or attacking and stuff like that. So he's trying to get people to blow the bridges up, whereas his sister, the mayor, is basically saying, you're overreacting, don't be ridiculous, we're absolutely fine, now it's going to happen. And then, of course, as usual, it all goes tits up, and the Quiet Place creatures arrive on the island. We don't see how they arrive yet. It does a bit of a time jump, but basically we see them that they're in on the island, and they've started decimating everything. Really good fun. Very, very similar feel, as you'd imagine, to the movies. This was a good first issue, a strong first issue. So yeah, I'd recommend, if you like A Quiet Place, if you like your horror books, definitely pick this one up. It was good fun. Let's see what Andy's saying. Yes, we did. Wasn't great, to be fair. Most of UIS is a bit mince. It's more aesthetic of the character, I think, that sells the story. Yeah. Usagi Yojimbo. Yeah, I agree, pal. Okay, so that's A Quiet Place. Pretty decent read. Well worth having a go of, I think. We've then got X-Men United issue number 1. This is the kind of the relaunch of the X universe. This was quite interesting. Basically, all the telepaths have set up a kind of a mind palace, I think they call it, which is going to be the school going forward. So you get sent a telepathic a telepathic link to the school, and you basically telepathically join class, as it were. And it's got that old kind of thing. If you get hurt in the telepathic area, you get hurt in real life. This was all right. I'm not a massive fan of the recent X-Men books, but I've been trying to pick up as many of the new ones as I can to give it a go. There's some interesting characters in this who I'm not familiar with. As usual, Scott is being painted as the dick. he doesn't want to do it. Everybody's against Scott and all the rest of it. A bit sick of that now, to be honest, like that. But yeah, this was okay. This was okay. Didn't blow us away, but it wasn't as bad as some of the more recent attempts. Again, if you're into your mutants, if you're into your Marvel team books, this is probably going to be a decent read for you. And again, quite interesting. Some characters in there I've never heard of or seen before, so that was quite nice. This this was really interesting. This is from Boom Studios. This is Good Bones and Other Tales, issue number 1. I love me a horror book, and I absolutely love anthology books. So I quite enjoy a book that's formed of many stories. That sometimes works really well. Other times it falls on its arse because the stories aren't enjoyable enough or detailed enough by themselves to kind of keep you interested. Thoroughly enjoyed this book. Well worth picking up. A number of little stories. This first one here I thought was superb. It's about it's only about 4 or 5 pages long, a future kind of tech system that you wear on your head, and it puts you into like a virtual video game. So this guy's in the virtual video game thinking that he's fighting zombies and monsters and stuff like that. And then there's a glitch in the game and it all goes awry. So yeah, really enjoyed that one. Other stories in the book, there's really interesting one about a guy who goes back to seek vengeance, shall we say, on some high school bullies, and basically sets him up like a piñata, fills him over a course of a couple of weeks with food, and then hits him with a bat. The Foster was really weird. That was a one where basically the guy grafts a hand to his stomach, and it's about how that gets him a lot of attention, but then he starts to regret the attention. So yeah, really cool stories. Thoroughly enjoyed it. If you like your horror, worth picking up. And speaking of horror, I also picked up this one. This is Tortured Hearts from EC. I loved the cover of this, which is why I jumped for it. Again, a collection of mini tales. And I think I liked every single tale, which is quite unusual in this kind of a book. But some cracking little stories. The first tale, as you probably guessed from the cover there and that image, is about a guy who's always seeking perfection and beauty. So basically builds his own woman, but then keeps upgrading her all the way through. And it doesn't end well for him, as you might imagine. Artwork on this, by the way, was really good. Next story was very cool. It was about a kind of a medieval setting where basically this lady becomes a vampire, and it's how the vampires kind of take over the kingdom. Really enjoyed that one. Next story was about a stalker. That was quite uncomfortable to read. And it was really interesting to read because it ended by telling you a little bit about the stalker laws in America, which was quite disturbing because this poor young lady is getting stalked by this guy. And the way the police treat her as opposed to him is terrible. You know, saying, oh, come on, you've led him on and things like that. And, give him a chance. He's a nice guy and stuff like that. And again, it all goes wrong at the end. But I thought it was a really interesting book. Really interesting story, and the link at the end to stalker laws in the States was quite disturbing, really. You then get this tale of basically a couple who are trying to put a bit of spice in the marriage, and end up in some shenanigans with another couple who are putting some spice in their marriage. And then you get this reprint of a book from the 60s. Now, we've talked a lot, haven't we, about the horror books of the 60s, and then the outrage that hit about how bad those books were and how they were destroying young minds and stuff like that. So it was interesting to read a story from that time period. And yeah, it's pretty horrific. So this is a direct reprint, and basically it's a story about how this guy meets this lady on Halloween night or whatever it is, all in Orleans, every year for 5 years, and she's always dressed as a hag and he's dressed as whatever, and they fall in love and they agree to meet every year and all the rest of it, and then they get married, and he tries to take her mask off, and as you can see there, it's not a mask, it's a real face, and he ends up ripping her face off in his bare hands. So yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, good fun. I enjoyed that book as well. Very, very cool story. Well worth reading. Okay, that's the number ones I've been reading over the last week. Let us know if you guys have read any that have jumped out at you. Rogue's Ass always on the X-Men covers. I don't think they're allowed to not put a backside on the covers, mate. I think it's kind of part of the contract. Love X-Men, but none of the new stuff hits like it should. I completely agree, Luke. Completely agree. And I know you've just said on the show on Tuesday, I think, that you're reading or you've just read X of Swords and House of X. Great stuff going into it, and then it gets very convoluted and confusing. And then we get to X of Swords, which had such a good premise and great first issue, and then just, I mean, we have dance-offs and things like that. You know what I mean? It's weird. And then nothing's really hit for me for a long time with X-Men. I really thought this recent mini-series where they went to the future was going to really blow us away. I enjoyed the first few issues of that, and then again, it faltered for us, I'm afraid. No, I've not read Narco yet, pal. I didn't get a copy of that. I don't know why it wasn't in the shop, so I'm desperately going to try and pick one up. I'm hoping to get one this Thursday when I pop to the comic shop. You read Narco for all the hype. It's nothing special at all. Yeah. I read Narco last night. I don't see the hype. This is the problem. Everything's getting overhyped, and like I said, we'll touch on that in a little while. But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to Narco. I'm disappointed if you guys didn't enjoy it because I really loved High School Serial Killer. It's by the same team, same universe. So I'm kind of hoping that it's of the similar vein. But yeah, I'll give it a go. Trying to get a copy this week, or if not, I'll jump to good old eBay. But yeah, we'll see what it's like. Okay, guys, bit of toy time stuff. So showing off some bits and bobs in my collection. The first thing I wanted to show you was I've just put a video out tonight about this little beast. So this is a blocky. This is their Infinity War Iron Man. Absolute stonking little figure. Tap his chest and his eyes lights up and everything. Much more articulation than I was expecting. Much more articulation. Now I have to be honest. This was sent to me, so you know, very, very nice to get it for free. But I think retail, it's about 20 odd quid. I would probably pay that, to be honest. It's nice. It is nice. The actual building of it was pretty straightforward. It was quite nice. It's a decent looking figure. I'm interested to see what else they do in the line. I know I've got a Superman here to build. I'm not convinced I'm going to like that as much as I like this. I think having the kind of the metallic metal armor effect, a bit like the Transformers ones, hides a lot of the issues I have with these figures, like the joints and things like that. But yeah, as far as model kits go, as far as little figures go, this ain't too bad at all. This ain't too bad at all. You get some nice accessories with it as well. So yeah, worth having a look, worth picking up if you can. Few of the toys or bits and bobs to show off from my magic box. We have got this. Love this. This is the world's smallest Optimus Prime. I've got a Starscream as well, I believe. Really, really like these. These are from Hasbro. These are micro Transformers. You get Optimus there. And on the back, it's got that classic kind of original artwork from the toys. You can open it up. Ooh, I'm not going to do it. But you can open it up at the back here and take the little figure out if you want. Yeah, I really like it. I really like it. I've got this one, like I say, and I've also got a Starscream. But yeah, pretty darn cool. I like that. I like that a lot. You got that. I've got this. I found this in my box. I was like, I don't know where the hell I'm getting this from. But this is Stan Lee's. Let us know if any of you guys in the chat have seen this. This is Stan Lee's Respect. You are a real life superhero. Handsofrespect.com. I don't know where the hell I've picked this up. I'll have seen it somewhere on eBay or a corner or something and just grabbed it. But yeah, never really seen this. So basically what it says is respect, you are a true believer. I've designed this respect pin. Bet he didn't. But anyway, I've designed this respect pin, 2 hands clasped together under the word respect. signifying unity. Isn't that what humanity is all about? Wear it and let everyone know you have respect for all. Excelsior, Stan Lee. Hands of Respect. Be a real-life superhero. Powered by ziphub.com. Help support Stan Lee's Hands of Respect. Signed by ZipHub. Whatever. Any of you guys heard of this? I don't know. I mean, I know Stan Lee did an awful lot of very much forward thinking in the original Marvel comic books and things, certainly in terms of trying to bring a bit of unity to the world and dispelling racism and all that kind of stuff. But I've never heard of the Respect pin badge. I'd love to think Stan had something to do with this. I really would. My fear is it's just another one of these things that near his demise, bless him, they just stuck his name on a lot of stuff, didn't they, in hope they could make a bit of cash from it. I just don't know. I just don't know. Never really heard of it before. Let us know if you guys have heard of that. That's the Respect pin badge. Next thing I've got, I don't know if Chris is still in the chat, but boom, we've got these. These are Garbage Pail Kids original sticker pack. I got these a little while ago. Don't know where to put them really in my collection. I probably put them in the cabinet behind us, actually. This was a sealed pack when I bought it. I opened it, took the chewing gum out, which was absolutely manky. But yeah, original Series 1 Garbage Pail Kid stickers. These were my childhood. I loved these. Loved these back in the day. And the cards we got were Spacey Stacy. And on the back, you get the big stink award. Nice. So yeah, so Spacey Stacy. We'll get Fat Matt. I feel like that's trying to send us a message. So Fat Matt. And on the back of that one, what is that? Fat Matt. On the back of that one, we get truancy license, so you can have the day off school. And then the last card we get is Haggy Maggie. I love that one. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I don't know if they are Series 1 actually. Are they Series 1, Chris? I'm not sure. But yeah, they are Garbage Pail Kids. So yeah, love them. They're a bit of my childhood. Them absolutely a bit of my childhood. I've got the book at the moment as well, which is spot on. But yeah, goes through all the different stickers and things like that. Lovely. I collected them for years when I was a wee nipper. I read an article last night. Don't say the hype. 20 quid isn't bad. You could do worse. Yeah, absolutely agree. Send the gum to me. I'll give it a try. I remember smelling it when I opened it on video way in Nelly Bouken. It was manky. Absolutely manky. Love original Series 1 pack. Would never have opened it like. Yes, that is an original. Lovely. Yeah, they are. Have you got an original, Chris? Have you got an original pack? Can't remember how much I paid for that. Can't remember, but yeah, I might end up collecting a few more then. So yeah. Okie dokie. So a little bit of talk about some of the books that I've got in my collection. As you know, if you've seen this section before, I like to pick a range of books. I like to pick some larger scale books to talk briefly about, and then some smaller books. The smaller books this time are going to be linked to hype. And I want to get your views and thoughts on that. Just wet me whistle. Excuse me. Vodka. It's good. So let's start off with some bigger scale books. These are all UK books that I picked up when I was a wee nipper. I don't know if many people remember this series. But this is Galaxy Rangers, issue number 1. First great issue, 24 full color pages, bringing justice to the toughest frontier of all. I absolutely loved this again back as a wee nipper. I can't remember a great deal about it, although I do remember the action figures and the theme tune being tremendous. No guts, no glory. I don't know if you remember that one, but anyway, it's superb. Look at the cod pieces on them. Anyway, yeah, just a cracking series. I've got some of the action figures. If you can get these action figures, they go for around about 50-60 quid if you can get them complete, particularly if you can get the hat and the guns with them. But just a cracking little series, and one that I don't think they've done much with for years, really. I don't think we've ever had a Galaxy Rangers kind of reboot, or They're not featuring in any books that I know of at the moment. Don't know who's got the property. So yeah, worth checking out. Love me a bit of Galaxy Rangers. Sticking with superheroes, or kind of lawmen, I guess you would say. We've got this. This is Centurions, issue number 1. This is Power Extreme. Look at that original artwork, man. Absolutely adored this toy line. Still got some of the originals behind us here in my cabinet. It's just a beaut. Centurions, Man and Machine, Power Extreme. Brilliant cartoon back in the day. Pricey toy line when they were released, because they were quite a chunky figure, well built with all kinds of snap-on accessories and things like that. So they were quite pricey back then. Even again, you can pick up the original figures now. You try to get a complete one loose, you're probably looking around 80 to 100 pound for one of these guys. I've got all of the main characters. I haven't got this thing, this one here, the flying thing, I don't think, but I've got the others on the cover here. Just beautiful artwork, absolutely beautiful artwork. Again, would love to see more Centurions. This is a nice one. Picked this up a while ago. I don't have a lot of DC in my collection, but this is Batman Classic Tale. This is issue number 34. I picked it up because of the stunning Swamp Thing cover, and also you get a free Swamp Thing pin badge, which is a stunner as well. Just a beautiful image by Bernie on the cover there. That version of Batman with that massive sprawling cape is just absolutely stunning as well. So yeah, I don't have a lot of Batman in my collection, but this one I quite liked because it comes with the, like I say, the free pin badge, which is always a winner for me if I can get a freebie on a comic book. I loved this book back in the day. Loved this book back in the day. Any of you guys, UK guys, because I don't think it crossed the seas, any of you guys remember a comic book called Oink? So Oink was mental, really. It was a comic book, like a tongue-in-cheek, funny comic book written by, apparently, and starring pigs. So they're all pigs in different guises and things like that. I've picked this one up because it's the Thundercats issue. Well, Thunder Pigs. Ho, ho, ho. Just stupid stuff. Really, really stupid stuff. But just a fun book. And again, one I read when I was, 10, 11 or something like that. And absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. You can get all kinds of different issues of Oink. I've picked up a few as the years have gone by. You can get them relatively cheap as well. Let's take this out of here. Oh, you can get them relatively cheap. So I've got the Thundercats issue there. We've got this one. Bit of Doctor Who going on there. Time travel special. And then we've got, yeah, just brilliant. Just brilliant. And again, just silly, stupid stories, you know. Yeah, love it. Love me a bit of Oink. The last of the larger format books I want to show off is not the first appearance of this character, but it is the first kind of UK version. And again, it comes with free gifts, some stickers on this one. So we've got Cartoon Time Presents Scooby-Dooby-Doo with some free stickers. This one's from 1989. We've got Scooby there, obviously. We've got Top Cat. Who's he called again? Who's he? Someone remind us in the chat. I can't remember the name of this bloke. Was it Huckleberry Hound? I can't remember. I think Huckleberry Hound. But yeah, so 3 stickers. Scooby, the blue one, Huckleberry Hound, I think. And of course, good old Top Cat. Love a bit of Top Cat, me. Absolutely love this book. Just great. Just absolutely great. So another beaut. Another absolute beauty. Let's see what the chat is saying before we move on. Chris, I don't have a sealed garbage pail, kids. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to get you one, Chris. We'll have a look at those because they are nice to have. Love this. Thank you, pal. That Oink looks awesome. I know, Andy, you were talking about the Centurions. I know you're a big Centurions fan. The Oink looks awesome. Honestly, Luke, great book back in the day. Just great. Very tongue-in-cheek. How do the pigs hold the pen? I'm not having it. They just do. They just do. Just believe in them. Believe in the pigs. Every time you show stuff like this, I wish I was 10 years older. Yeah. I mean, I truly believe, Andrew, the age I am, 49 this year. 49 this year. I think, and I'm sure lots of people will say the same thing, mind. I'm sure lots of people will say the same thing. But I think I was blessed to be living through the time period I lived through when we had with Thundercats, with He-Man, with Transformers, Centurions, Brave Star, all that kind of stuff, which has just stuck with me forever. Like I say, I'm sure people who were born mid-80s will reference Turtles, Power Rangers, stuff like that. But for me, I absolutely think some of the properties that were around when I was a kid collecting toys and comics, not collecting, sorry, I don't want to say collecting, because when I was buying this stuff when I was younger, it was purely for the read and for the enjoyment of reading the stories and watching the cartoons and playing with the toys and stuff like that. It wasn't collecting at all. It was just enjoying the property, I guess. So yeah, I think I was very lucky with that. We've got Comic Deal. Nice to see you, pal. Hope you're doing well. We've just been talking about you, bud. I've read the not Usagi Yojimbo. What do you call it? I'll show you the picture because I'm sure you've read it. This one. Read this week, James. Thoroughly enjoyed it, mate. Thoroughly enjoyed it. The painted artwork, absolutely brilliant. I know you're a huge fan of this universe, this character and creator. But yeah, this is the first time I've read one of these books and thought, yeah, I'm going to read on. I really liked it. It was good stuff. Good stuff. Huckleberry Hound. Yeah, Ash, I think you're right, pal. I think you're right. Do you find your collecting habits are changing as a result of you selling off your slabs? Well, so there is a story in that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna bore you with my woes, but Andy, because we talk a lot, my love of selling stuff. I hate everything about it. Not because I don't want to part with the stuff, but because I'm bone idle. And I can't cope with the anxiety of have people gotten it, blah, blah, blah. When I recorded that video, which I put out a few weeks ago or whatever, saying I've sold my entire half of my collection, I honestly had sold half my collection. But the money wasn't in my hands yet. So I sold it on Facebook Marketplace. The guy talked to us for a week every night, backwards and forwards. He asked us to go through my boxes and find other stuff that he would buy off us. Because he was not far from me. He was in Darlington, actually. And then he ghosted us. So after I'd done all that, he ghosted us. And I haven't heard from him. I've tried to get in touch. He's blocked us on Facebook. So I presume he didn't want it anymore. So I'm sat here with all of those books still. And I haven't sold them yet because I don't know if I can be asked. I'll probably take a load of them to that toy fair we're going to, Andy, and maybe sell some there, or I'll sit and look. I made a rookie error as well. I'll probably do a video on this. I priced a lot of my books based on eBay sold prices rather than fair market value, because I didn't know where to find fair market value. Not a very good comic collector. So I need to, when I can be bothered, have a look and go back through that. So at the moment, the collection, the sat next to us here, the two short boxes, full of slabs, is just sat looking at us. And the more it's sat looking at us, the more I'm thinking, do I really want to sell my whatever? So yeah, we'll see. Huckleberry Hound, yeah, thanks, pal. Garbage Pit Kids, I know someone that sells them. Yeah, very cool. We've got Kenneth. Nice to see you, Ken. How are we doing? Well, I'm 39 this year. I feel like I missed the best bits and got the cheap follow-ups. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right, Andrew. I feel bad for kids now growing up with Fortnite and the like. Yeah, Luke. I mean, I try and think. My son is 18 now. And I even try and think about what nostalgia will he have when he's my age? What will he look back on? And I can't really think of anything because he was never really into. I can't really remember anything having a big impact on him. He didn't get into Power Rangers. He got into Ben 10 a little bit, but not a massive amount. Turtles a little bit, but I just don't know. He does collect a lot of anime stuff, so maybe that's what it'll be. But I do think it's interesting trying to think 20 years' time, what will the nostalgia hunt be? You know, what will people be looking for in terms of the nostalgia hit that I'm getting now from He-Man and Thundercats and things like that? Still waiting on my copy. It's a cracker, pal. I think you'll enjoy it. And I think there's a nice bit at the back, James, where they're talking about how they wanted to be faithful. I get the name wrong. Is it Stan Sakai? How they want to be faithful to his vision and how they were respectful of what he did and things like that. So that was really nice, really nice. Hiya, Connie. Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. What's the difference between eBay sold and fair market value? I haven't got a clue, pal. But all I know is when I was trying to sell them, lots of people were coming back and saying, "Oh, that's a little bit high compared to fair market value." And I was like, "Well, I'm going off what eBay's sold." I think fair market value gathers sold data from a whole host of sources and kind of averages it out. Whereas eBay, I'm literally looking at what the last book sold for, you know. Yeah, anyway, moving on, guys, moving on. I want to talk a little bit about, we've talked a touch as the show's gone on, but a little bit about spec. And I've never been very good at spec. I think I fell into the trap of, certainly when the MCU was kind of starting to take a bit of heat, I fell into the trap of trying to predict what the next spec book would be. So like buying a load of copies of the first appearance of the Thunderbolts, Miss Marvel. I spec'd a lot on that. I've got about 6 copies of her first appearance and things like that. And over the last, say, 3 years, I've realized that it's just a load of shit. Nothing really stays, you know, very well valued for a long time, in my humble opinion. I think if you go for your blue chip, your blue key books like these ones behind us here, you know, I mean, even they've taken a dip in value over the last year or so since COVID. But if you look at these, pretty standard prices, it's going to retain its value. But if we look at stuff like this, some of the current spec books, Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre, this load of shit. Dork, I'm saying load of shit. It's a decent book, but it's certainly not of worthy of all the hype it's got, I don't think. Or even this, the White Sky, these hype books. Do I think they're going to actually retain the value in a few years' time? It's very hard to say. You never know when you're going to get the next Invincible issue 1 or the next, I don't know, Walking Dead 1 or something like that. It's very hard to predict. But what I would say is, if people are predicting a book is going to be huge, that's probably a good sign that it's not. It's the books that people no one expects that seem to you know, rock the world, because nobody's buying them. Every bugger on the planet is probably trying to buy a copy of Dork #1 at the moment, you know. So there's a lot of, I think, ambiguity, a lot of challenge in the spec world where you try and if you're trying to make a bit of money, I guess, I think it's a difficult route. I'm not sure I've ever cracked it, to be perfectly honest. And I'd be interested what you guys in the chat say. Do you feel you're good at the spec game? I guess part of it is knowing when to sell. I think the only time I can honestly say I did well out of buying and selling a comic, and I regret it now, is I bought a Journey into Mystery 85, first appearance of Loki. And when the Loki TV show kind of took off, I sold it and I made a good profit on that. But now I want the book back, so I miss it. Another one I want back is Invincible. I bought that book and had it graded and signed because I loved the book. I loved the story. I loved the artwork. It then hit the high time, didn't it, with the cartoon? And I thought, nobody's going to continue watching this. So I sold it when the book came out and made a good profit on it. But then the world's gone Invincible mad, and now it's kind of exploded, and it's worth 5-6 times what I sold the book for. So I missed out on that. But I wanted to show you a few books that I think were spec related back in the day. Interested to know if you've got any of these, if you got any knowledge of these characters. We'll start off with a big one. And I think Andy's just had a copy of this. And this is this. This is Spider-Man, issue #1, Torment Part 1. This is by Todd McFarlane. Beautiful cover. It tells you on the cover, look, it's a collector's item, issue #1. I mean, there was an obscene amount of this book pushed out, you know. This is a $2 book back in the day. Now, Andy, or any of you guys in the chat who are a bit more intelligent and switched on with me, there's that many different versions of this book. I don't know what I've got in my hands here. I know it's not the normal print. Is this the platinum print, or is it just the silver print, or what is it? Because that's even there. I didn't know. What I know is I paid around about £30 for this not too long ago because I didn't have a copy and I thought I needed it. So this was a spec book, I guess, back in the day. But for me, there's no denying that that's an absolutely classic Todd McFarlane cover. It's polybagged, this one. But it's one of those books that I think you buy, or I've bought, for the cover rather than the spec of it, obviously. But yeah, I need to figure out what the hell it is. I don't know if it's the platinum or the silver or whatever the shit it is. Another book, which again was spec at the time, people thought it would go up in value and all the rest of it, and it hasn't. But I would argue is worth having in your collection if you love the character and you love comic books, and that's this. Now, this one was actually a gift from a good friend, Efren, Passpoint Comics. He sent me this relatively recently with a big box full of Girl Scout cookies. So yeah, so this is Superman issue 75, The Death of Superman. He dies at the hands of Doomsday. Now, for you younger collectors out there who might not be familiar with this book, this really did rock the world when it came out. The Death of Superman was like a massive mainstream media event. It was on the news and all kinds of stuff. This particular version of the book, I remember buying in the comic shop off the rack and just being blown away by it. I don't think gimmick covers and holograms and stuff like that had been a thing for a while. I don't think I'd ever been aware of a book that stuck so much in it. So when you open this, you got the actual comic book. You've then got the obituary for him. You've got a sticker sheet. You've got a poster for Funeral for a Friend. But the main selling point for me was you got a black armband with an embossed Superman logo on it that you're supposed to wear to show that you are in mourning for Superman. Just incredible. So yeah, another spec book. Has it retained its value? I don't know what the current value of this book is, but it's another great book to get if you're a fan of the character and you like a bit of history, really. A similar one, they tried to catch, they tried to reignite the same level of passion. I don't think it really worked, but this was the subsequent book, which was the resurrection of Superman, really. The actual card cover inside has got a picture of Park Kent reaching out for Superman. You don't get all the gubbins that you got in the last book with this one. I don't think. I don't remember really opening this one, to be honest, and having a look through it. But yeah, that's not bad. Now, here's a character that I'm going to call on you guys in the chat, your knowledge of characters. This one was spec'd and talked about a lot. And I don't know if she's even still around or if she just went the distance. This is, I think, Wonder Woman's daughter, is it? Trinity, I think she's called. Yeah, I don't know a lot about the character. I know there was a lot of hype about her, about how amazing she was. I think I got a couple of copies of this thinking that she was going to be the next big thing. And I don't know if she did. I don't know if she is. I can't say I've seen her in anything. She wasn't in DCKO that I'm aware of. Any of you guys know anything about the Trinity? I think she's called Trinity, the daughter of Wonder Woman. I don't know if when they did the Absolute line, they just kind of abandoned this one and got rid. But yeah, absolutely, this was supposed to be one of the hottest characters around. This book was selling for a lot of money back in the day. But I think it just vanished. Probably one of the most recent spec books in terms of, people thinking the character was going to go far. And to be fair, before Chris jumps on us, to be fair, he's a good character. He's a fun character. But there was a lot of noise and excitement about this chap. So this is Spider-Boy. So he first appeared in this Spider-Man book, issue number 7. This is the variant cover that actually shows him on the cover. Interesting little character. I think I've got a fair few copies of this, but again, at the time, everybody was like, oh my God, this book is going to blow up. It went very, very pricey for a while, but I don't think it's a pricey book now. I think you can get it for a reasonable price. And again, I don't really know if the character is maintained. Chris, I know you're a big fan of the character. Let us know in the comments. Is he still around in mainstream books? I always liked the costume. I think it's an interesting little costume, an interesting idea for the character. But yeah, not sure if he's maintained shelf life. I don't know if he's still around in the books. Okay, so there you go. That's a few spec books that I kind of got pulled into, a few spec characters that I'm not sure really did what they were hoping to do. We talked a little while ago on one of the shows about Punchline in the DC universe. That was supposed to be the next Harley Quinn. Never really took off, I suppose. Any that you guys are aware of? Any characters that you guys spec'd on and either worked out, so became a big character, or you threw a lot of money at books that never really took off? Right, let's see what the chat are saying. GPA is the go-to for FMV. Peter, send me the list and I'll get you sorted. I had a quick look on GPA, Andy. I must have had a link at some point. I must have paid for the account a couple of years back, and I think I must have let it go. It's a paid service, isn't it? GPA, I think. Yeah, but yeah, Andy, I'll do that, pal. FMV is just a moving average. eBay sold is good at the moment measurement. See, that's what I thought, Chris. That's what I thought. And then a few people messaged us and said, "Oh, your prices aren't FMV." Say, "Oh, piss off! I can't be chewed." Best way to win in the spec market is just to buy a bit of everything. Yeah, buy one of every book. And so back in the day, maybe it's 2-3 years ago, I remember that there was a few YouTubers who seemed to do that, Luke. They literally bought the comics and they were sent straight to CGC just in case something came out of the books. They must just have shite in terms of CGC. Do you know what I mean? Because they sent everything. Andrew, I order my books as soon as the solicitations go up for order before anyone has time to hype anything. It means I only order new books on my own excitement. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it, bud. Good way of doing it. Dork is advertising a third printing. Yeah. I don't know what the original print run was, to be honest, Terry. I can't be bothered with collecting properly, if I'm honest. No, I've lost I like reading, Connie, and I know you're the same as me. You like a good book. You like a good story. That's what I'm more interested in, I think. Andy, I love a bit of spec. Dorks paid for my garden shed. Yeah. I know you sold a fair few of the Dorks, didn't you? But Andy, did you buy the Dorks? Because I know you had a fair few of them, but did you buy them to get the 1 in 25 cover? Or did you think it was going to be a high value book? Did you anticipate the price, if that makes sense? Or did you just buy them because you wanted the 1 in 25 or whatever it was? Or did you think this is a book I want to spec on? Anton, I have that issue of Spider-Man and I have the other copy, which was a black copy. Yeah. I've only ever bought one book for any reason other than wanting to read it, and that was because of me. Oh, God. I hope it was good. Andrew. Is the main prints, then there was several prints after... Oh, prints, sorry. It's the main print, and there were several prints afterwards. Gold, black, new name. Yeah. I think that's my problem, Anton. I got lost off, so I don't even know what version this is. I didn't know whether it's... I just don't know. I don't know. I'm sure it'll say somewhere, won't it? I'll do a Google. I have that Torment issue on silver variant in a 9.2. I just love the McFarlane art. I don't care about the value. The same goes for ASM 313. Yeah. There's no denying McFarlane's artwork is stunning at times. If you buy what you like, you cannot go wrong. Absolutely, Luke. Absolutely. That's the silver, I believe. Check for the error version of the lizard's green skin appearing blue. It's in a poly bag, Andy, and it's not open. So, I don't know. Should I open it? I don't know. The Death of Superman. Everybody bought it now. You can buy the entire set up to Superman's Death and Resurrection in the dollar bin. Yeah. I have a loft full of Spider-Boy. I can wait for that gravy train to leave the station. You may be waiting a while, pal. I've given up with Wonder Woman. Can't stand Tom King, but Trinity was in the 2-issue Stephanie Williams wrote, 29 and 30. Okay, Terry. That's interesting. Anytime I try to spec buy, I got it wrong. So naturally, I hate spec buying. You see, I'm the same, James. I don't think I've ever done it successfully. I think he's still around in some of the mainstream Spider-Man, but I haven't seen him in a while. Spider-Boy. I don't anymore, but I used to like buy and spec at the peak and lose my shirt. I bought 25 copies of Dork. I had a feeling, thought it would take a punt. Reminded me of Kanto. Kanto, you cannot sell now, Andy. Kanto, and again, this is the thing with spec, isn't it? I think it's about knowing when to hold on to it and when to sell. So Kanto prices for issue number 1 have absolutely tanked. but there was rumblings and rumors, wasn't there, that Robert Downey Jr.'s animation studio had bought Kanto, the rights to Kanto. So who knows, that might take another jump. But I do know at the moment you can't sell a Kanto. For every dog, there are 10 boxes of misses. Yeah, that is very true. That is very true. In a very problematic way, I think comics should be read. So I don't know if it's a nice cover. I'm opening it and reading it. Yeah, Connie, I'm with you. I'm with you. Okay, ladies and gents, I've kept you longer than an hour, so let's just wrap things up. A little bit about content coming up on the channel. First off, massive thank you to all the channel members. Really, really do appreciate you. We're 20 people who are channel members at the moment. Simon, Jason, Joshy Boys, Connie, Mr. Groovy, Paul, Rob Fatstacks, Andrew, Stephen, Batman, Dr. Von Hoot, Luke, Fuzzy, Phil, Sean, Ed, Phil from Rogue Photography, Terry, Chris, Wayne, and Claire Prescott. Thank you so much to all of you guys. Really do appreciate your support. I'm behind on this month's giveaway, so I will do a video. Actually, we might do a live this week. We'll see what it's like. We might do another live where we'll give away a slab and give away 2 sets of comic books. Couple of videos for you to check out. I've got this video out at the moment about large-scale Marvel and DC Treasury editions, some of the original vintage Batman versus the Hulk and Superman versus Spider-Man. Absolutely phenomenal artwork. Beautiful, beautiful books in terms of the size and scale of the imagery. If you like your artwork on a larger scale, which I do, please do check that out. Great video, great books as well. I did a live show with Efren on Friday, which is our comic catch-up series, where we talked about the comic books coming out in May. And we did a couple of reviews and we showed off some sketches and things from our collection. We're going to be doing that every month, so please do check it out. New series of videos called Comic Catch-Up. It's not really a new series. It's just basically our old look-ahead video, live show, repurposed a little bit. So check that one out. I was on Only Slabs on Saturday night over on Rob Fatstack's channel. Absolutely loved it. I think I showed them some books they weren't expecting and had a great laugh. So please go check that rewind out and let Rob know you've watched in the comments. Please let him know you're from my channel. So that would be much appreciated. Tuesday night, we've got panel breakers. James and Efren aren't available. So there's myself and Sorrel. Let us know if anybody fancies jumping on. But we'll be doing the usual shenanigans on that show on Tuesday night. And that's your whack. That's your whack. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really do appreciate you stopping by and spending some time with us. There's been 20-odd people watching, which is incredible for my stupid little show. Really do appreciate you listening to us prattle on, an old man whining and moaning about comic books. So I do appreciate you spending some time with us. For now, though, that's your whack. We'll see you on Tuesday night. Take care. Bye.
The curtains close. It's time to go. We really hope you enjoyed the show. Check out my channel for more geeky fun and hit like, subscribe before you run. All that remains is our thanks to you from Triple G and his YouTube crew. We really do hope you come on back, but for now, that's your whack. Yeah, that's your whack.